final block. So the Java final block is used to execute important code such as a closing connection, stream, etc. If an exception occurs in the program, the currently executing method may stop without completing execution. So in that situation, some codes, such as closing a connection, will just never get called. Java provides the finally block to deal with these exceptions. The finally block is always executed whether or not the exception is handled, and the finally block follows try or catch blocks. Now, sure, the finally block is optional, but this block is placed after the last catch block. And if you have a look at the diagram right here, first, the try block is executed, and then if the code in the try block throws an exception, the catch block is executed, and the finally block is executed. And then if the code in the try block does not throw an exception, the finally block is executed again. So let's make some of our own examples with exception handling so that we can deepen our understanding. So first, let's create a new Java project and specify the project name as exception handling. And don't bother changing any of the other options. Just click the Next button. Now in this section, just uncheck the Create Module Info.java file, and then press the Finish button. So in this project, just right-click on the source folder and select New Class. Specify the package name as Exception, and the class name as Exception Handling, and then select the checkbox to add to the main method. Now let's declare three variables with the int type. First, number 1, and assign it a 0. Second, number 2, and assign a 0 to that. And the last one, result, and assign that a 0. So we will use the scanner class for getting input from the user. And first, we need to import the scanner class. So we'll choose Import Scanner Class in the java.util package to import the scanner class. And we see a message to enter the first int number by using the print method, and assign the next int method of the scanner class to variable number 1. And we see a message to enter the second int number by using the print method. So let's assign the next int method of the scanner class to the variable number 2. Okay, so let's assign number / number 2 as an expression to the variable result. And then let's print the value of the variable result by using the print method. And then finally, we should close a scanner object by using the close method. Okay, so you ready to run the code? So in the console screen, we'll enter 12 for the first number and 2 for the second number. The result is 6. All right, so let's run the code again. And we enter Java as the text for the first number instead of an integer number. And there it is. See, so we got an exception that's named input mismatch exception. So you see that the program was terminated. So you see what's going on here, right? The next int method could not read the Java text that we entered as an integer, so it threw an input mismatch exception object. Now the second print method message, enter second int number, was not executed. So we want to catch this error and then display our message in the console. Now we do that by using the try, catch, finally blocks. And a try block encloses a code which may throw exceptions. So let's enclose that code and let's see if it will throw an exception with a try catch block. The exception that might be thrown here is a input mismatch exception, and so a catch block has been provided to handle it. So we copy input mismatch exception from the console and paste it within the parentheses following the catch keyword. And then we import this class. We must declare an exception type object that's named E. And we will use this identifier to display an error in the next exercises, E for error. So in the catch block, we can display please enter valid number as our message by using the print method. Now let's run the code again. And in the console screen, we enter Java again. And the try catch block handles the exception and the please enter valid number message is displayed. Cool. So let's run the code again. And in the console screen, we enter 12 for the first number and 0 for the second number. And there it is. We get an exception that's named arithmetic exception. So let's handle this exception in the second catch block. And we'll write arithmetic exception within parentheses following the catch keyword. Arithmetic exception, that's a class that is predefined in the java.lang package. So we don't need to import this class, right? So back in the catch block, we display second number cannot be 0 as a message by using the print method. Now let's run the code again. In the console screen, we enter 12 for the first number and 0 for the second number. The try catch block handles the exception and the second number cannot be 0 message is displayed. And now if any exception occurs except these two exceptions, we can use a superclass of all the exceptions that are named exception in order to handle it. So let's handle this exception in the third catch block. So we'll write exception within the parentheses following the catch keyword. The exception class is predefined in the java.lang package, so of course we don't need to import this class. In the catch block, we'll display an exception occurred message by using the print method. And then let's add the finally block after the last catch block. The finally block, by the way, is always executed. So in this finally block, we'll display this statement is always executed as our message by using the print method. So now we can run the code again. And in the console screen, we enter 12 for the first number and 2 for the second number, resulting in 6, and there is no exception. Finally block is executed and the message is displayed. So let's run the code again. And in the console screen, we'll enter Java for the first number. It worked so well before. Now the related catch block handles the exception, and please enter valid number is our message displayed. Also, the finally block is executed, and this statement is always executed is the message that's displayed now. So let's enclose the code with a do-while loop. First, we declare a variable isFlag with a Boolean type. Its initial value is false. And we use the variable isFlag in the while keyword. This loop continues until isFlag is true. So back in the code, after printing the result, we'll assign true to the variable isFlag, and if an exception occurs in the code, then the value of the variable isFlag will not be true, so the while loop will continue. Of course, if there is no exception in the code, then the value of the variable is set to true, and the while loop will be terminated. Okay? So why don't we run that code again? And let's enter Java for the first number. The catch block handles the exception, and the please enter valid number message is displayed. Also, the finally block message is displayed. And the while loop continues and asks us to enter the first number because the variable isFlag is false. So we enter 12 for the first number and 0 for the second number. The catch block handles the exception, and the second number cannot be 0 message is displayed. And also the finally block message is displayed, and the while loop continues and asks us to enter the first number because the variable isFlag is still false. So we enter 12 for the first number and 4 for the second number, resulting in 3. Division operation is done successfully. The variable isFlag is set true, and the finally blocked message is displayed, and the loop then terminates, because the value of the variable isFlag is true.